what are your thoughts on a platform that is basically, Fubo is for us, by us, to put, folks who are doing the kind of stuff that we're doing on in front of our audiences, and bypassing all of those gatekeepers that we had to go through for just forever.
We need these type of services. We need to show people that we don't have to be on Facebook. We don't have to only be on Facebook. We don't have to only be on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. We can also be on another service that caters to us specifically and make sure our needs are met. The problem is we may run into an issue. We have to be careful to where we're not diluting into where there is a black tag, and then there's also a fan base.
Right.
And there's same thing with the Black business directories. I saw that.
Oh my God, there's like 1,000 of those. Okay. I think we really need to do, what is collective work and responsibility? Ain't that one of the principles of Kwanzaa? We really need to start figuring out how to really implement that in practice for real, because I feel like what is happening when you do have all these disparate platforms all over the place, quality suffers big time. So when you take all of these disparate platforms that are all just okay, but yet you want us to pay for them, that's what it becomes a problem. Then we need to figure out how to really pull our resources to create one or two that are high quality, that will allow us to get paid and showcase our talent in the best light, and do all those wonderful, beautiful things that we keep saying we want. But the quality has to be there. And right now, honestly, no hate, no shade. It just ain't there yet.
These platforms are going to go through the same trials and tribulations that all platforms go through. You can say the exact same thing about the majority of the things that are like this out there, and eventually the cream kind of rises to the top. If the content on this, like if you really like the content on Funny or Die, that's where you'll go. If you really like the content on Black Tag, that's where you'll go. If you really like the content on, and I threw this in the notes, on Kevin on Stage Studios, because that's actually something that I actually subscribe to, because I really like that comedian. So I think that, even though there may be a lot of these things that are coming up, the ones that are good are going to ultimately kind of rise to the top, and you'll probably start to see some consolidation.
I think if we got together, I think my point for my earlier rant is that if we got together and didn't try to create so many little networks and really worked on creating one or two that did have that production value, and the technical infrastructure and backbone underneath all of that to make it work seamlessly and things like that, I think we could really create something amazing.
In my opinion, it goes to the chicken or egg thing. Do the people come and the content gets better, or does the content get better and the people come?
There needs to be somebody who has that type of influence that could get, and maybe the Tech John could do. I don't know.
We'll be there.
Tech John, we can moderate that panel. You know what I'm saying? But somebody needs to do that and get these people in a room and talk about what it would really take to make this happen.
Yep.
Right. And as I said, what I like about this story so much is the fact that it's just possible.
You gotta make the platform attractive enough that it adds value to what you're doing on your own, you know what I mean? Right. And it's and that's the key. I think the quality of the platform is going to be the make or break,
Gotcha.
because we don't, as Black folks, we don't give folks a second chance. If the thing ain't right, oh man, I went there and they made me wait 30 minutes. I ain't never going back there again. Right. You know what I mean? You're not gonna give a whole lot of time,
so it's gotta be right.
Work. It's like if your site, if your app is crashing and the website don't work and buffering and all that other stuff, like we need all of those pieces to come together in a very significant way, along with the content.
And it can be done.
It can be done.
We shouldn't have all these different, it shouldn't have to be the only way that these things these platforms rise to the top. They got to struggle and they got to scratch and they got to scrape.
Right. We don't need to struggle.
Right. There should be a way to where we could get together and be like, all right, here, and then, support you and let you grow, and it would just be nice to be able to do that,
Right.